ladies and gentlemen, every member of the Rotano gang was captured. As a result, one of the most vicious narcotics rings in the country was broken. Rocky was convicted and sent to the electric chair for Wally Jansen's murder, leaving Mrs. Renshaw free at last to bring up her little daughter in dignity and security.
The names of all characters in this transcribed dramatization are fictitious, and any resemblance to names of living persons or actual places is purely coincidental. Our stars were Jay Jostin in the title role, Len Doyle as Harrington, and Vicky Vola as Miss Miller. Mr. District Attorney was produced by Bernard L. Schubert, written by Harry Junkin, and directed by Leslie Harris. Mr. District Attorney was originated by Phillips H. Lord. Ed Ladd speaking. This is the Mutual...
Mr. District Attorney, champion of the people, guardian of our fundamental rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This show was inspired by Thomas E. Dewey, New York's racket-busting district attorney in the late 1930s. Dewey later went on to become governor of New York and infamous in his presidential run with the Dewey Defeats Truman headline. Dewey had transformed the district attorney from the bumbling incompetent, the kind heard in many of our radio programs, to a hard-working, tough-as-nails defender of justice. Shortly after airing as a 15-minute serial, it went to the full half-hour format. Mr. District Attorney started as a replacement show when Bob Hope went on vacation, but when Bob came back, Mr. District Attorney stayed on, and stayed in the top 10 ratings for a few years. In fact, it was the #1 show during the summer. Admittedly, it was when the big shows were on a break, but still, #1 is #1. Ed Byron, a down-on-his-luck radio man, meaning largely out of work, created and produced the series with head writer Robert Shaw. Byron and Shaw were known to hang out in bars and mingle with criminals to get good material, as well as interview cops and reporters. The result of their research was a show that was grounded in reality. At one point, they wrote a script dealing with Nazi submarines that was so close to real and secret that the FBI gave Byron a real visit. Another time, the show aired a story about a police raid on a sanitarium on the exact same day that a real raid on a sanitarium took place. As well as crime, detective, police adventure stories, the series were also not afraid to take on the social issues like racism and poverty. Jay Jostin was cast as Mr. District Attorney in 1940, Vicky Vola as Miss Miller, Len Doyle as Harrington the Investigator. This cast went through the entire run to 1950. A revamp of the show occurred in 1951 with David Bryant in the lead role. And it shall be my duty as District Attorney not only to prosecute to the limit of the law all persons accused of crimes perpetrated within this county, but to defend with equal vigor the rights and privileges of all of its citizens. And on those words, thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next week.